You and admit all. Hey, everybody. Here we are, ready to go. Well, while we're waiting, anything super exciting? I was telling the all staff meeting this morning that my son Joe, he's 7 years old and he's got a lot of energy, talks a lot, wants to be listened to. So I picked up Chat GPT, not the typing version, but there's a version in which you can just speak back and forth. And I said, "Hey, here's my son Job. He's 7 years old, and he just wants to have a conversation." And they just went off. Joey's talking, and the computer's talking back, and just going. After an hour, Chat GPT said, "Well, I gotta go. See you later." Oh man, it was a good hour, but yeah, even the computer couldn't last too long. Uh, oh well. So, what about you guys? Anything worth mentioning? All's well and good. All right. Well, then let's get started. Here's what we're going to do today, and we'll spend as much time doing it as we need to, but um, we are at the point of the school year, believe it or not, where we're starting to look towards next year. Um, some things are coming up. We do our planning. We look at the different programs and how things are going. And then we start to dream about what next year could look like because budgets planning is right around the corner. And of course, we're not going to start with our budget. We're going to start with what is it that we are hoping to accomplish for next year, and then figure out what we need to do to make it happen, what things we need to cut, where our priorities are, and all of that. So, since we're right at the beginning stages of starting to think about all of this stuff, I wanted to check in with you, our parents, grandparents, everybody who's involved in the school, and just kind of go program by program and really think about department by department and think about areas that we possibly could look at for some growth or change for next year. But before we jump into all of that, I do have just some things to let you know about. I'm sure all of you are aware that we've got our conferences this week. Everybody should be aware, except I think my family just showed up to their one-on-one. Uh, yeah, it's funny. I'm over here thinking about what I'm going to talk about at the meeting, and I have my list of announcements. My wife is saying, "Well, I'm going to go over to the campus for a one-on-one. Bye." And I just did not link the two together at all. So you might be one of those people. No one-on-ones this week. No cohorts this week. Conferences, if you haven't signed up, get into the weekly email and do that. So next week's a holiday, and it's really funny because in our staff meeting at the BCA, I've been saying that this holiday's been coming every Monday. I'm like, well, next week we're not going to be meeting because of the holiday. And yeah, every week I have been wrong. So this is it. It is finally here. 3-day weekend. Next Monday, we are not going to have any parent meeting. And we have picture retakes coming up in Lowell. it's going to be on the 6th, and Ben on the 12th. Details in the meeting there. I mean, in the email. And then we've got Exploration Day coming up again. That's really exciting. So our next Exploration Day is going to be, oh man, where is it? I know it's coming up. It's not next week. I know
I
that.
believe it's on the 18th of November is our next
Yeah,
one.
so it's right around the corner. It's just like that holiday that I was talking about for the last 3 weeks. Just right around the corner. We got the hot springs this um on the 15th, and then pacing guides. TJ, tell us about that. Pacing guides do.
Yep, pacing guides are due by the end of the day on Friday. If you have any questions about those, please feel free to reach out to your learning coordinator and they can get you squared away.
Okay. And is that I see that the survey, are you still accepting
Yeah, we have a family survey in the family email that went out. If you would be willing to jump in there, it has, I don't know, maybe 7 or 8 questions that is really helpful feedback that we use in our process. It's one piece of the puzzle in our evaluation process of the K-8 program, and so we really appreciate your feedback there.
Well, before we jump into next year, is there anything that we need to announce? Any questions about what is happening right here, right now? Any concerns about anything that you want to talk about? Oh, Miriam?
Can I share something really quick?
Of
I
course, yes. Run down the clock. Let's
so
go.
well we this is our last week that we are collecting recipes for the BCA cookbook. And so um I plan on having the little first and second graders will be selling hard copy on campus at the winter market, but I'm hoping to have it available as a PDF after that. So even if you're on the Bend campus, like we really are trying to make it like all VCA contributions and to make it a really nice and hearty cookbook. So I'm going to share the link um, to the form for those recipe collections. And
Mhm.
if you have a favorite, if you're ask your child like, hey, what's your favorite thing we do for family like gatherings and things like that? I'd love for you to share if you don't mind. We'd really enjoy that.
Wonderful. Have you gotten a lot of submissions thus far?
We have about
Whoa,
40
that's
so far. Yeah.
awesome.
We
Woo.
have some parents who have shared a few, and this is from families as well as staff. We're trying to get it
Yeah,
from everybody. So
wonderful.
if you haven't had a chance yet and have a favorite, choose a category. I'd love to see and be able to share and build community together in that way. So
Yeah, and if you don't have a recipe specifically and still want to share, on the back of every like cake box, there's usually something there that you can claim as a family recipe. No problem. All right. Great. Well, 40, that's pretty impressive. So we can be looking forward to that at the holiday market, right? Cool. All right. Any other announcements? Anything? All right. Well, I don't know if anybody is going to have any feedback, but I wanted to give this opportunity. So what we're going to do is we'll just go through our different departments, and we'll see if there's things that we need to be um, shoring up and working on. So let's start with sort of the easier ones, maybe. How about our K-8 program? We've got our LCs out there doing their thing. You guys had the survey coming out, so it's kind of fresh on your mind. Um, with K-8, there are things like the conferences, there's state testing, there is report cards, the progress reports. There's iReady. There is Easy CBM. There's a lot of things there that really fall into that category, that if we were looking at how to run things even smoother next year, um, maybe you have some ideas about one of those things. All right, here we go, Allison.
It's not necessarily about one of those things, but it is a question that I have regarding K8 and
Hey,
conferences.
this is perfect.
So this morning, was it this morning? What day is today? Is today Monday? Yes. Part of the email, the reminding us that the conferences were this week, we got the note that they'll be recording what lesson number we are on for our curriculum. Is that a new thing? Because I haven't ever had that happen before. And I'm just wondering what the purpose of that is and how it plays into what's recorded, how it's recorded. Why is that just an LC thing? Is it, I'm just curious where that came from and if that's something new that BCA is doing across the board, or if it's something that is just for this individual.
Yeah, that's really, and you got that from the weekly email or
No,
from,
just from the LC.
okay. Um, yeah,
Yeah, I can speak to that, Ben, if you want me
okay,
to.
great. Thank you.
Yeah, yeah, that is something. There's always been the expectation that an LC will know exactly where each student is progressing. That is one of the things that, as a public charter school, there is that expectation that we would know where each LC would know and have an idea of where their students are and how they're progressing through their curriculum. So that's always kind of been an expectation. But yeah, this is the first year that I mean, I know some LCs have always reached and asked, and they've just put it in their monthly status notes because there's always student tracking and stuff, and they're keeping track of where students are so that that progress monitoring is always available. But this year we had just asked that at least once a quarter, just be able to go in there and show that you're aware of where your student is and how they're tracking in their curriculum. And so as far as the request and ask and getting that information directly from you, this is the first year that that it has been required from everybody. There are several LCs that were already doing that. This is the first year that we asked all LCs at least once a quarter to be able to put after that conference to be able to say, yep, this is right where the kiddos are as far as progression in each of their curriculum, so that if there was ever a review or anything, we can show, yep, we clearly can show and articulate student progression through the curriculum here at BCA.
So
And you're just inputting the information. You're not necessarily using it for anything new that is
Oh,
that
no.
we
Yeah,
haven't heard about.
no. This is just student tracking. Like I said, for some LCs, this is probably some families have probably encountered this before, but yeah, this is the first year where we've said, hey, yeah, please at least once a quarter state clearly where their progress is. Some of your LCs may be doing it monthly. They may be having a conversation with you and checking in and putting it in each monthly status report. But yeah, the minimum expectation is once a quarter. But yeah,
Okay.
it's just going on to the student tracking. That's what it's there for, especially if a student is working with growth team or they're working with SPED. That information is available, and those collaborative relationships can say, yep, nope, these are what lessons they've done. We know what we can incorporate in our lessons together. And so it improves that collaboration between teams as well.
Okay. This is just my third year, and this is the first time it's ever come up. So I just thought, did I miss something? How does it play
Is
into
this,
everything else? So
yeah, is this a younger grades that you,
yeah. So second is, yeah.
yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, it hasn't been as common in the younger grades. As the students get
Okay.
older and they move into the upper grades, it becomes a lot more common, those conversations. But yeah, this is the first year that we've required it for K4.
Okay. I just want to make sure I didn't miss something.
no, perfect.
No,
That
that's a
was
great question. Yeah, thank you.
I learned something. So there you go. Awesome. All right. Any other questions or suggestions for improvement or things that we should look into for K8 for next year? Okay. Well, we can certainly move on. How about the office team? Now, you may not know a lot about the office team, but this does include not only just the registrar and purchasing, so reimbursements for all of the purchases that you make when you're using your allotment. It also includes parent liaisons, the front lines there, for any questions that you would have that are not of a educational nature. Um, Anything there that we could look at for next year on streamlining? For those of you in Lowell, how is the switch with the buildings being rearranged? The new parent area, having the liaisons, the registrar, and everybody sort of housed in one spot. All right, so what I'm getting is that this is going to be a very painful time going through each of these departments, but that's okay. We're going to do it anyway. Uh, I am going to just take the silence as overwhelming satisfaction. How about that? There it is. All right. Well, then let's move on to our high school team. Um, how are things been going with high school? The ECs, we've got your SASs, the office hours being available for helping with tutoring. How's the grading been going? I know with Canvas, oh, and this is true of K-8 too. I'd like to hear about that Canvas course that is transitioning students into high school. But any feedback that students are getting on Canvas, has that been helpful with our SASs? Um, Doing the breakout classes, has that been a good thing? So anything high school related, if you're doing CTE, is there enough opportunities for um, some career exploration? We have somebody saying, I appreciate the office and admin staff that were so quick to respond and provide answers. That's really good. Thank you. Oh, and we got a cookbook. That's great. Coming up. All right. So at least everybody in this room is happy enough with our high school program. For those of you that are just joining us, we're going through each department looking at potential changes for next year, um, as we're getting close to budget season and having to develop any ideas that we come up with. We want to make sure that we have plenty of time to do that. All right, well, high school is doing good. What about our AIS department? Here we go. Academic and instructional support. They have taken on a lot this year with our outings, exploration day. That includes growth team, among other things. And then anybody that is working with Lowell School District special education department, they are a liaison of sorts between our school and Lowell School District special education. Anything there that we could look at for potential changes? All of that is going well, I'm assuming. All right. Well, the only other department that I can think of, unless I've totally missed one, is probably the most obscure for people, but it is our systems development and support. They are the ones that are maintaining the parent portal. Now, not Synergy per se, but the parent portal, but they did just recently take on online accounts. So if you're having trouble getting logged in and things, that would be something that they would do, not their main thing, but so it has accessing your information on the portal gone well? No issues there at all? Yes, I did. I did just mention the AIS team with thank you though, TJ, or anonymous. All right, hey, all right. I think things are going well. Well, here's the thing. We probably are not going to be content just to leave everything totally alone and not tweak at least one or two things. So what we are going to do next, and not that I have anything I can talk about today, um, but I know everyone here seems to be very satisfied with how things are going in all of the departments. But we are going to be, oh, here we go. We got some feedback. Don't make any major changes. Yeah. Well, the problem is this. This is the problem with with not making changes. Everybody then gets extremely happy at the BCA, and then our parent meetings are just painful to go through because I don't have the angry mob that is just making the time fly by. So I need something, please. Just one change. Give me one change. All right. So here's what I'm gonna do. I will come back not to next week because we don't have any meetings, but uh, I'll come back before our winter break and I will let you know of any potential changes that we are looking at making for next year. And we can talk about it before it gets totally solidified. Does that sound good? Like I said, I don't have a list or anything, but I get a little antsy. But I do hear that, Sarah, and it is good. No major changes. Well, we've gotten better, uh, a lot better uh, from the past where we've rocked the boat just to rock the boat. All right. Well, that took a lot less time than I thought it would. Is there any other comments, questions about anything at all? I know Marina is here. Is there anything that we need to know, Marina, um, about yearbook stuff?
Yeah, we are moving right along with yearbook. I'm super excited. I've met with the Lowell Exploration students, grades 8 through 12, who have signed up to make this happen, and they're all super excited and have lots of great ideas. So I can't wait to put those into action. A few parents responded from Bend about contributing potentially to a Bend yearbook, and I sent out calendar invites this morning. So if you're one of those parents, please check your calendar invite or your email for that invite, so we can see what we can make happen in Bend. Yearbook sales will start probably after the first of the year, after we get some progress done on the actual book. So you'll hear more information about that later on.
Awesome. And so it would be just consisting of pictures and things that have been taken throughout the year.
Yeah, so we have students who are going to start taking photos of campus activities. Staff members are contributing photos from BCA outings, Exploration Day. Teachers are sending photos about related to cohort activities. So kind of anything and everything BCA right now. And then parents will have an opportunity, if they want to build two of their own individual pages for their students. They can build 2 pages with just photos of their kids and their family from that school year, which is super cool. I love that idea, at no additional cost. And then that goes in just your family's yearbook. So that's pretty cool. And you'll receive more information about that later too.
Wow, that's such an exciting
Yeah.
thing. So you can have the school-wide activities and then any photos from what happened at home or
Yep.
different field trips and things. Wonderful.
Yep.
Well, I know that there's probably a lot of questions that will be answered in the future, but any thoughts on any of that?
Also, I will be reaching out to lots of families in the next few weeks about photo permissions.
Hmm.
So when you register with BCA, you check some boxes about how photos and information can be used. And so we have a lot of families who don't allow for photos in printed publications. So I'll be reaching out and double checking and seeing if
Mhm.
you want your kiddo to be part of the yearbook or not.
Yeah, it's really unfortunate because going and registering through Synergy, it's sort of a shared form with Lowell School District. And I will say that one part where it does talk about the photo release is ambiguous enough that I think anybody reading it would be like, yeah, I don't know what they're really saying here, so I'm gonna just just say no. And that really is too bad. So that would be great that you could follow up and sort of explain that no, we are not selling children's pictures on the internet for anything or whatever.
None of
Fun
that.
rate. All right. Um, there it is. This is your chance. Anything at all. We really are asking. We really do want to hear. We really are thinking about the future, and it is not set in stone yet. Although Sarah says, please set it in stone and leave it alone. So I got that. All right. Well, there it is. That was super informative. The positivity was overwhelming, and my heart is warmed. So thank you very much. I appreciate it. I will think of something else to get us riled up for next time. But next time is not next week. There is no meeting next week. We will meet the week after that and see what we can come up with. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.